Hello, and welcome back to a new broadcast. My name is Malvin Malaho, and I'm so glad to be back with you. If you're new to this channel, we discuss Bible-based subjects, so please consider subscribing. I'll really appreciate that. Thank you. In the previous broadcast, we learned that Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. So now Jacob possessed this right, and this automatically granted him a double portion of the family estate. Yes, but the birthright of the firstborn goes hand in hand with a blessing, the inheritance of the privilege of an everlasting covenant with God. Oh yes, we can read that in Genesis chapter 12, the verses 1 to 3, and also Genesis chapter 15, the verses 1 to 21. This was the very same blessing God gave Abraham. To see how these events took place in Jacob's life, let's take a look in Genesis chapter 27. Now the Bible tells us in that chapter that when Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak that he could no longer see, he called for Esau, his older son, and said to him, "My son," and he answered, "Here I am." And Isaac said, "I am now old. I am an old man and don't know the day of my death. Now then, get your equipment, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country and hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me the kind of tasty food I like and bring it to me to eat, so that I may give you my blessing before I die." Now Rebekah, his wife, was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau left for the open country to hunt game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Look, I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, 'Bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food to eat, so that I may give you my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die. Now my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. Go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, so I can prepare some tasty food for your father just the way he likes it. Then take it to your father to eat, so that he may give you his blessings before he dies." God had already told Rebekah that Jacob was the chosen one. So she comes up with a plan to have her husband bless Jacob instead of Esau. She calls Jacob in and explains the plan. "Bring me 2 young goats. I will make a meal for your father just the way he likes it. You will take it to him so he may bless you before he dies." But Jacob said to his mother, "My brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am not. If my father touches me, and he will know that I deceived him, and I shall bring a curse on myself instead of a blessing." Rebekah replied, "Well then, let that curse be on me. Just obey me." Rebekah takes the goat skin, and placed them on his hands and neck. She also had Jacob dressed in his brother's clothes, gave him the food, and Jacob went to his father Isaac. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes, my son," answered Isaac. "Who is it?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing." Isaac asked his son, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" "The Lord your God gave me success," he replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not." And here we see exactly that Jacob was a thinker. This man, he didn't just think as far as his nose went, but he thought in the future. When his mom told him to bring the food for his father, he said, "But my brother is a hairy man, and if he touches me and he will realize that I deceived him, I will not walk away with the blessing but the curse. And here we see exactly what Jacob was concerned about. So actually Jacob wasn't concerned about being caught, but he was concerned about that his father would find out that he deceived him and cursed him. So Jacob went close to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he proceeded to bless him. "Are you really my son, Esau?" he asked. "I am," he replied. Then he said, "My son, bring me some of your game to eat so that I may give you my blessing." Jacob brought it to him and he ate. And he brought some wine and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come here, my son, and kiss me." Jacob lied, and not just lied, but repeatedly. Each one of Jacob's lies needed another lie. His father had his doubts. The father said, "Come near me so I can feel you." And then he said, "Come near me so I can hear you." He went further and said, he asked him questions. And then the last time he said, "Come so that I can kiss you and smell you before I finally bless you." So all these checks that the father had in place to make sure he was gonna bless the rightful one, the father failed because Jacob was prepared. So he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness and an abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you and people bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed." Today we learn from this message that the birthright of the firstborn automatically granted Jacob a double portion to the family's estate, and that this birthright goes hand in hand with a blessing. And the blessing was the inheritance of the privilege of an everlasting covenant with God. And this was the very same blessing God gave Abraham. Remember, the Bible says that God calls himself the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God had foretold that the younger son would have precedence over the older. And here we see that the father, when he blessed Jacob, he said, "Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you." And here we see that this blessing, this story, this prophecy that God gave Rebecca about her son, the second one, that he will rule over the first one, we see it came to pass. If you're watching this video today, again, be prepared for what God has spoken in your life. And whenever the opportunity presents itself, run with it. And may God bless you, and you are blessed. Until the next broadcast, be safe and stay well.